Hi guys, so I've got the Tracer 900 GT. I've spent a good bit of time on setting the suspension up. Now, last year I went to France with a couple of my mates. Sorry, not France, I went to Europe and we toured France, Luxembourg, Germany and Belgium. And I noticed that the bike had a bit of a wobble if you slowly lifted your hands off the bars, which wasn't normal to me. Now I've got a big top case fitted. Now, I didn't back then. I had all my gear strapped to the back seat, but it annoyed me enough to come home and want to kind of properly set it up. So I spent a good bit of time with my mechanic mate, and we measured the sag and we had a bit of a play about, and this is what we came up with. So I'm about 12 stone, 12 and a half stone. The MTs and the Tracers seem notoriously undersprung for the UK market, and probably most markets, to be honest. I had a 2014 MT. If you look back my videos, I ended up having to replace the rear shock because I couldn't get it set right, and the front forks were pretty much maxed out. It's not all that much different with the GT, but here's what I've come up with. So, so we want two fat lines shown, okay, and on both compression and tensioning screw, which is the screws on top, you want to turn them fully to the hard position. Just don't turn them too far. You'll get to a point where you'll feel as if it's starting to get tight. Stop and go back to the click before, and count 6 clicks out. So turn it until you get 6 clicks, and that's your front set. Now, obviously, if you're a bit of a heavier person, you'll probably want to drop that to 1 line showing, or I'm guessing 16 stone plus, there or thereabouts, maybe even 14 stone plus. You might want to consider the last line, the second last line, or the very last line, which is the one at the top there, that one that my nail's on. So yeah, that's set to that. The rear preload adjuster, fully hard until it gets tight and stops, but don't go too far. Take it back to a click and take it 5 clicks out from hard. Right, so in case you're wondering where hard is, it's clockwise. So fully clockwise until it stops. Take it back until you hit the first click, and then click it out 5. You've also got the combined compression rebound screw here. Turn that fully clockwise until it stops. Take it back to the nearest click and count out 3. And I think, to be honest, you'll notice a massive difference in the way that the bike performs. It'll be a bit harsher on the road because obviously you're tightening up the preload front and back, as well as your compression and your rebound dampening. Now the rebound, or the compression rebound, I'm fairly certain on the standard shock is either 7 or 10 out from hard. The front is 7 out from hard on both sides, and the default is 6.5 lines shown. So if you ever need to restore it back to factory, 6.5 lines, and then it's 7 out from fully hard on the top adjustment screws. But yeah, in general, I think you'll notice a massive difference with that. And what you'll find is, when you add your gear in the back and your misses or your other half on the back, you'll then need to put this to fully hard. So realistically, all you're doing is, if you're riding about yourself, keep it 5 out from hard, and then when your missus or your other half or whoever goes on the back of the bike with you, or your gear goes on the back of the bike, turn this to fully hard until it stops pretty much, and take it back to the first click. That's the upshot. And then all you're doing is just turning it back to 5 out from hard when you're on it yourself, and then putting your gear on, turn it back to fully hard. It seems to be the way that works. I've noticed on a lot of the Facebook groups, a lot of people have went and got their suspension professionally set up as far as they can with a stock suspension. And to be totally honest with you, this seems to be in the ballpark of what people get their bikes back. They seem to be set up like this. Now I've noticed a massive difference. It's turning into corners a lot better. When I've got gear in the back, I'm not bottoming out. I took my mate on the back a quick run down at the borders in Scotland, and we hit a bump on the standard settings, and the shock bottomed out with a bang as well. So it's definitely worth getting your bike set up, properly, or at least better for you, because you'll notice a big difference. But I just wanted to give you a heads up. So just to recap, you want three lines shown, right, or two fat lines, two thick fat lines. See the two thick ones there, that one and that one, both sides. 6 out from hard on the top, so take it fully clockwise and then turn these screws back 6, and then at the back you're going fully hard on that, and then take it back 5 clicks, and then on the combined damping that's there, you want to turn it fully hard and then take it 3 clicks out, and that should make a big difference. There's no doubt about it, the Tracer's a cracking bike. I've had it since July 2019. I've got a Euro trip under my belt. Let's just see how many miles I've done. So I commute on this daily as well. So let's see. Yes, so 10,637 miles I've done on this bike, which is not bad going. The Euro trip itself was just under 2. But yeah, give that a bash. Let me know in the comments if it makes a difference for you, and keep me posted.